Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Quicks, our quick video chapels here at Warner Pacific University. It's our way of trying to stay connected while we're in this moment of social distancing, but also one of the ways that we are living into our Christ identity.
There is no one like you, there is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. I will put my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and
I just want to share a few thoughts with you today. Last year or so, I realized that I, like many people, was wrestling with the fear of missing out. Maybe you've heard that phrase before. I was wrestling with this fear of missing out. Like sometimes I would make decisions, really important decisions or even some of the sillier decisions, but I was making decisions based on this fear of missing out on something rather than really surveying my choices at the time and making the best moves based on that. I've been working on that in the recent months to reduce how often I make decisions and make moves based out of the fear of missing out, because I don't want my actions or my attitude to be governed by that. I got this thought recently that in this moment, many of us, myself again included, might be dealing with that. Especially our students might have those feelings right now, that you're missing out on something in this moment, and that you're gonna miss out on something in the near future. Especially if you're a senior, that's probably a truer feeling than not. You might be feeling like you're going to miss out on all the things that were supposed to make your final year of college special. Like you're missing out on being with your friends. Maybe you feel like you're missing out on some projects that you wanted to do, some accomplishing some of your collegiate goals. Maybe you are missing out, or you feel like you're going to miss out on your graduation or applying for jobs or pursuing jobs in the career that you intend. And I get that. That stuff is like really important. But I want to take just a few moments and encourage us that we're not going to miss out. We're not going to miss out. It's going to be different for sure. Different than you planned. And that's just going to be okay. My mom had a favorite poem that she would hang on the wall of our house no matter where we lived, and it was called the Desiderata. And it's this beautiful poem about the power that there is in just accepting and receiving life as it is. There's just one line in the poem that reads like this. It says, "You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt, the universe is unfolding as it should." That idea, that incredible idea that the universe is unfolding as it should. As beautiful of an idea as that is, that can be hard for people like me to grasp. People who like to feel like they got things in control, or people who like to feel like they are planning and that they're just going to live life according to a plan. That idea is hard to grasp, that the universe is unfolding as it should. Because it makes you feel like you're going to miss out on some important stuff that you didn't plan for, that you didn't have the capacity to plan for. But for this moment, I really just want to challenge us all to just accept that idea, to just receive that idea that the universe is unfolding as it should. And whether what we're experiencing right now, it's going to be different. While it is different, accept that it is good. Maybe even better. In the Gospel of John, chapter 20, there's a passage that centers around this guy named Thomas. We meet Thomas in John chapter 20 in a very different way than the Thomas that we meet some chapters earlier. He's one of the few biblical characters, actually, that we get to follow over time. And we kind of get to see him almost like when he was a freshman, and then we get to see him again as if he were a senior. In the first place that we meet Thomas, in the younger place, he's eager, he's ambitious, he's one of the most adventuring even disciples and followers of Christ, maybe even more so than the rest of them. But by the time we get to John chapter 20, the Thomas that we meet there, he's different. It's very clear that he's in a different place. He's sad. He's disappointed, maybe even mad, because the great moment that he had planned to have as a follower of Christ, for whatever reason, he wasn't there, and he missed it. The other followers, they did have this great experience, probably an experience that none of them planned for, and that was amazing and incredible. But for whatever reason, Thomas didn't have that experience, and he missed it. So in this chapter, in this moment in the chapter that we see Thomas, I don't think that we see a person who's so much a doubter as Thomas is labeled. I think we see a person who is frustrated, again, who is disappointed, who is sad, who is maybe mad. If we continue reading that passage, what we see is that Jesus comes directly to Thomas. They have what I think is an enviable one-on-one encounter where Jesus comes directly to him. They have a conversation, they have an exchange, a conversation and an exchange that Thomas never planned for, probably couldn't have even planned for. And I would even say it was probably better than what he had planned for in the first place, anything that he had in mind. I was on a Zoom call recently, one of many Zoom calls, and I had this moment where I was looking at the screen and I looked at the faces of all my coworkers, many of whom are my friends. I looked at their faces and I just had this thought of how beautiful these people are and how much I'm thankful for them. And as immediately as I had that thought, I had a second thought, which was how rarely I actually look at their faces anymore. In the regularity of life, in normal times, in normal circumstances, I don't really look at their faces anymore. But here we are in this very uncommon moment, and I'm actually looking at their faces. And I thought, man, these are some beautiful people. This is a different moment, but I was having an experience that was actually better than what is normal. I understand right now things are different, and they're going to be different for a while, but I want us to take peace in knowing that the universe, which none of us had a hand in creating or maintaining, that the universe is unfolding as it should. I want to leave you with just one verse today, and it comes from the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, and it's really simple. It says this. It says, "Be confident in this thing, that he who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it, even into the day of Christ Jesus." Listen, there is still good work to do and great experiences to have. And though it is and will be different for a little while, we can be confident that he who began a good work in us will be faithful to complete it. And we won't miss out.